Hello, viewers of the internet. Today, I will be attempting to build a rival for the 1990 Toyota MR2. Because that's what we need to do. Now, it probably won't be this, since it's a massive muscle car. I'm thinking I want something rear-engined. How can I resist this? I feel like there's an overwhelming power I have to resist to build an MR2 MPV. Yeah, I can't do this. I mean, it's going to be a lot heavier than an MR2 and it just won't be able to compete. Now, what do we have from the last 10 years? Keep it relatively modern. I think this has the right kind of look to it. If we can make it a smaller, tighter design, perhaps. Bring the door back. Bring the windscreen up a little, perhaps. I don't know. It needs a sloped windscreen because it's a sports car. At least slightly sloped. So yes, we're going to build a rear-engined MR2 rival. Because that's a strange way I think. I think we'll go +3 on quality. Go with a unibody construction. With the best mass production chassis we can get. We're going to go rear longitudinal since it's actually all that's available. You can't put in the front or anything. Still, it should mean it's designed as a rear engine vehicle and it'll work better. Now I can go with McPherson struts front and rear, or double wishbone, and we can go with push rod on the front, but we don't want mismatched suspension. We want the balance, so we'll be going with double wishbone all round. And we'll be going with aluminium. No, it's limited production. Just use corrosion resistant steel then. Or partial aluminium. Just see the weight. 267.6 isn't too bad. By the looks of it, we can save just under 40 kilos with partial aluminium. So we'll just use steel. I mean, there's not that much difference in it, so I don't see much difference bothering with aluminium in that case. Now, it's got a lip already, but I think we want to add one. Add a body colour lip, if we even can. Oh, this is going to be awkward. I'm happy with this body though. Don't want to change this. No. One last effort. Right, we have to have a different body, it seems. That's just the way it has to be. That's the one I was on. How is this for a rear-engined vehicle? Could be a real sleeper actually. And it's got a kind of retro Japanese style look to it. Probably more of an A86 Torino kind of thing, but we can make it rear engine, so should be decent competition. Can have that extended outwards, just not too much. It is rear engine though. This looks like a definitively front engine vehicle. We can just go with a sports car. Oh, is this a kind of Fiat coupe? Yes, it's sleek and modern. If we flatten that out as well, it actually looks better, I think. There's also a large front overhang, which isn't actually a terrible thing. We're talking about a rear-engine vehicle here. Yes, it might not look perfect, but it's all functional. So we can extend this window backwards. Hopefully the door as well. Maybe it's a striking design, maybe not the most practical. I think we actually want a boot. There we go. Our sports car. Yay. I'm sure when I put better wheels on and stuff it will look better though, so we can deal with that. Perhaps flare the arches a little, make it more sporty. We could just bring them back in. No, we need sportiness. We need 225s wear as well. Don't tell me we're going to have to make this stupidly wide. There we go. I feel that was somewhat unnecessary though. To fit 225s on it. Maybe that's just the way things are. Now, headlights. Something striking. And sporty. Too modern. This is 1990. These ones? Might actually use body colour. It looks horrible, but it's sporty. Oh yes, look at that. Don't want too much chrome on this. This is not a luxury car. There we go. And we need a grille of sorts. Think I know what I want in this. Actually, if we have it down here, it looks like it's smiling. Yay! But it has to go up here. Looks good, but not good enough. It has to be a smiley car. No, it doesn't. I'm just being crazy. Now, what else do we have that I could use? Don't imagine that working. Nah. That's kind of what you find on the Mini. Actually small Minis, I mean. Makes it look like some weird pigfish, though. On here. The grille for Vauxhall Corsa. Yay, Vauxhall Corsa. It looks surprisingly generic. This should look decent. Actually, maybe I could just go with a smaller grille. That doesn't work, that hangs down too low. I think I know what kind of effect I want though. Can we turn that the other way up? Looks weirdly like an Aston Martin or something then. Not the good ones either. I don't know. Looks okay. Now we need a badge, which can only go on the grille, I think. There we go. And it's a rear engine vehicle, but I've added cooling to the front anyway. It looks more like some weird coupe, probably because I based it on a Fiat coupe. Now we need some door handles. Basic ones. We probably stole them from Mazda. We fell off a truck, okay. It'd have to be a pretty big truck though for a mass production sports car. Tail lights. I think these ones. 90s era tail lights. There we go. And they're too far outwards of the body. That should work. Badgers. Like there. We can have a number plate. If I ever find where I've hidden them without reducing the quality massively. We can just have the automation ones, I think. Ah! Didn't like that for one bit. That should be about the right size. And some exhausts. I don't really want chrome. That should work. Very, very subtle. Is that kind of black powder coated exhaust? I don't know. Either way, they're subtle enough for me. I say subtle, they stick out in a car that's red like this. But they're not chrome, okay? The only things that are chrome are the badges and bits of the headlights. And that badge looks off, speaking of which. There we go. Should be a little better there. I feel like we should go with a bonnet scoop, but it's not necessary. Now, I kind of like it actually looking like a front engine vehicle. And again, this is weird. It's one of those weird cars where it looks like it should be front engine, but you can only go rear engined. Is it because I selected rear engined on there? No, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. It confuses me. Still, we need vents or this thing's never going to keep itself cool. Don't click on the colourful box. I did that before and it broke the game temporarily. I believe the MR2 had something like this on the rear. It did have a longer tail though behind the rear window. And we need a wing, speaking of which. Try this one. Yeah, just put it over the vents. Can't cause any rigidity problems whatsoever. Now I feel like I could do something horrible and put it there, which would mean the boot can't open that far. Which it needs to if you're actually to get into the engine, since it's a rear engine car. Oh yes, that's what I call a wing. I think this one's off a Ferrari F40. Just see what variants we've got available. So what's the difference between that and that? Oh, one's bigger. Sorry, we need the kind of Plymouth Superbird wing. I'm surprised I didn't notice the difference actually. It's so much bigger. Yeah, we're going to have those on the roof apparently. Now I'll move them back in a moment. But yeah, now that means we can have some huge stupid wing going around the boot. And the boot can still open. Move these lights inwards a little so they don't quite mess with the wing. And we should be there. Move the badge down a little since I move the tail lights down a little. Now there's our vents to keep this beast of a car cool. He'll probably give too much cooling, to be honest. Then we'll all be in trouble. Yeah, nuclear power plants have less cooling than this car. Okay, so there's our motor vehicle. And I forgot to add a number plate to the front, so I'll have to do that. For once, I've incidentally actually made a nice number plate space. There we go, we're not got to stick it just anywhere. There's actually a nice space where it can sit there. Maybe not the perfect space, but it's just blank space that was being used for nothing, so the plate can go there. If the law would permit it, we could put it down there, but it might sit too low. However, since it doesn't need much cooling here, we could probably just have the plate over the grill. Looks a little goofy, but less goofy than it did above the grill. Okay, I think we're approaching completion. Just one thing we need. Don't fail me now, magic lip of downforce. Bring that up a little, it's too low on the body. That should work. Can we extend it? No. Hope we make downforce from this crazy coupe thing. Yeah, they may have had the cozy coupe, but we have the crazy coupe. It's kind of weird with the width though, like that affects how low you can put it. Raise that up to about there, and then we can make it wider, perhaps? Yep, that'll work. Maybe not as low as it'll possibly go, but it's low enough to not look completely horrible. And we have our mighty wing. I think we have to go with a bonnet scoop. Or something on there. Even if it's not a scoop. Also a sunroof. How can we rival the MR2 without our appropriately sized sunroof? That had a kind of T-top design in certain versions. And how do I resize this? There we go. We need this one, I think. Nice. Give us some crash structure as well around the roof. And we need our bonnet vent, or whatever we're putting on the bonnet. There we go, make it look like there's a huge engine under there, even though there isn't actually an engine at all under there. So, what else have we got to do? Come on. I think we should have it bright green. Yes. No. Just copy Toyota. It's a red sports car. Yeah, the MR2 looks good in red. Actually looks good in yellow as well. But we're not good enough designers to make a car that looks good in yellow. And this thing is lagging like mad. Okay. We don't want an inline 3. Too small. Inline 4. Oh. We may be running into slight problems. The MR2 at about 2 litres. We have to deal with something tiny because of size constraints. We can use the stroke though, and that'll give us a slight improvement in capacity. There we go, 1.5. That's not too bad. It will actually let us fit a 1.5. Yep. Looks like 1496 is about the limit, which is close enough to 1.5 for me to not really worry about it. I don't think we should need a turbo then if the engine is this capacity, which is good. We'll go with 5 valve per cylinder to compensate for our lack of capacity. Just throw money at a problem until it goes away. That's our company's philosophy. I have done a quite nice engine here though, I think. Now the colour. Oh yes, that one. Kind of retro design, I like it. Naturally aspirated. In this case, we might do a turbo later. It would always be possible to turbo this engine. I think it's strong enough in terms of head design and stuff to cope with it. And I think we'll use good old mechanical injection. Simple and easier to work on. I say that as we've gone for 5 valve per cylinder. But anyway. Wanted to run on low quality fuel, I think, so we can go with alternative biofuel and stuff without the engine exploding. Since those fuels can sometimes be worse for your engine. So it's best to just compensate for that. I think we can make the power we need anyway. Worst case of all, we'll have to go for a turbo. I might actually put a turbo on if I can come back and do it relatively cheaply and still keep the car reasonably priced. We'll just have to see though. This stuff generally. The airflow isn't good on either of those two, so I'd have to have an excellent airflow catalytic converter. As long as it keeps emissions down, it's doing its job. So we just need to do a basic ordeal here. And what am I doing, eh? I've not even tested the engine, it won't tell me how much power. 142, decent start. And then we'll just turn that down until it doesn't explode, which is really low revs actually. Okay, I think I need a serious engine change. But for now we've got a working engine. I'll probably design it smaller with a bore bias and then turbo it. Either way, we've got an engine in the car. And we need to add other bits. Like the 5-speed manual. It hits 99. That is just a punch in the face to various car manufacturers in the 30s and stuff who wanted to hit 100. Like, look, my car hits 99. To be honest, I'll probably like it, less competition. Okay, so what's better in terms of differential? Vicious is apparently better for comfort, despite its name being vicious. Okay, so we'll have to do that. It has to be reasonably comfortable, even if it is a sports car. So we can go with 225s, front and rear. I'd have liked for more, to be honest. Looks like 16s are about our limit, as far as tyre widths are concerned. They're decent tyres though. I just wish for better. I'll give the suspension technologies a check. I really want 245s or something. If we're going to turbo this and do whatever to make a load of power, we need the design to actually handle it. If we change McPherson struts... No, that doesn't do any good. Okay, so I'm on the wrong menu to adjust the wheel arches. Yep, and soon came a time when I couldn't adjust them anymore. It was always going to happen. Wait, 235 I'll settle for though. I'll settle for 235 as long as I can go with better tyre compounds. I know it's not perfect, but that's the body we've got in our car. The only alternative would be perhaps making them tiny, but even so that doesn't work. 17-inch wheels are actually quite large. I mean 16's quite large for the time. Those wheels look too small. .585 is about as small as I can go with tyres. Or not. Can I make those bigger and then have more tyre? No, I can't. Okay, so this is what we've got now. Need to choose some wheels though that don't look horrible. Honestly, I think they work. It could actually do with 17s. It would look better, but functionality is a problem in that. The tyres have to get narrower as a result, and we really don't want that. Now, how much are the tyres? Yeah, I think medium compound are decent enough for money. I'd rather just go with hard compound and massive tyres though, and then remove wheels. Right, we'll go with lighter wheels, I think magnesium, since we're not spending as much on the actual width of the wheels. Go with the best brake technology we can, but still with certain comfort attributes to it. I think we'll go with vented front and rear. It is a sports car after all. 225 rear, 325 front. Decent balance between performance and race and comfort. And that wing is actually so big it's beginning to annoy me. But it's cool, okay, and we need the boot to open either way. It looks like a weird, ugly, early 2000s take on the Plymouth Superbird, to be honest. We want a fully clad under tray. Wow, look at all that cooling. Don't need that. Really, I mean, we don't need it. Those vents are just going to go to waste, so make them smaller. And there we go. Maybe they don't look as good now, I don't know. Either way, we have our aero. Wherever we were, we have our aero. Yeah, we've reduced the cooling a lot. It just didn't need it, though. We're still half blocking off those vents. However, for now I'll leave that as it is. I mean, I doubt I'll ever need more than 295, even with the turbos and stuff. But it might need more aero than it does now, since it's just a tiny NA engine. It only needs 80. That can easily change. Now, how much downforce can we get just hiking the values up? We can always do this later, but if I have to add a part on, it's always more convenient. Now we'll go with a sport interior, I think, with a premium cassette system. So go with power steering and anti-lock braking unless it turns out to be light enough to not need power steering. If it's under 1100 kilos, I might not bother. Hydro pneumatic looks comfortable, but there's no sway bars. Comfort is average there. We want it to be comfortable. And air suspension is probably not as reliable as hydro pneumatics, since Citroen's been using it since the 70s. It has to be at least reasonably reliable. I think they've been using it since the 70s. We're spot on for weight, actually. Lighter than the MR2, but when we add the turbo and stuff, that weight will go up. Still, if we're competing with a naturally aspirated version, I think that weight is more or less spot on to compete with them. And we've got a premium interior with 5 seats, which is always interesting to have. Not sure how you would fit 5 seats. You would have to actually be going right up to the engine and transmission there. But it'll probably work, nonetheless. Now, aero. Yep, we're making positive downforce. We don't need to worry about that too much. 0 to 62 is stupid, but then, so it should be. We've not built the engine properly yet. Ah, money. How are we doing for money? Can't forget that. 30,900. Okay. I think we need to save a bit of money somewhere, since it's about the same as the MR2, and that's before we've got any profit coming in. Now, we've got longitudinal rear-wheel drive. Fair enough. All the fixtures we want. Now, how much is corrosion-resistant steel? Not sure it says. Wait, max tyres. 245, 235. Yeah, I don't think that changes it. It would have been interesting if it did. I'm guessing the only market advantage we can really have over the MR2 at this point is selling it as a quicker vehicle with the turbo. Since I have designed it to handle a bit more power, I think we can do that. We are making the engine smaller though, since having it set up for stroke just wasn't doing any good in terms of RPM. A smaller, heavier engine should be good. Add a turbo to that. Could save a bit of money on the engine probably by cheaping out and stuff. Also variable valve timing, that's good. We want all the fancy stuff here just to make sure it can keep itself cool, even though it is going to cost a lot of money. I don't think we really want to mess with these qualities, to be honest. Just leave them on 0. Maybe it's not good for the vehicle, but we need to keep the price down. Okay, so we'll try adjusting the AR. That just increases lag, it seems. I need the point where it jumps and gives me loads of power. Having 0 PSI is apparently good for it. How doubtful am I of that? We need loads of boost and stuff. Right, how much power do we want? I don't know. Well, we are running on low quality fuel. Does that defeat our chances? Try multi-point electronic injection, I guess. Okay, so I'll return when I've adjusted all of this stuff, since it'll take a while. Okay, so I return with a pretty poor engine actually in terms of economy. Yeah, 2,600. By no means is that great. I also have to readjust the red line, which I seem to forget to do. Yeah, I can get everything working though, which is good. 9,500 seems to be the limit, which is actually quite a high revving engine. Do we need that? Yep, we do. So, I've done that as you've seen. I've had to adjust the fuel mixture to one higher than it really should. And it destroys the economy, but hey, we made the power. Isn't that what's important? And here's the turbo. I don't need to run that much boost, but it doesn't really seem to have any negative effect if I do. So I'm doing it anyway. There are the settings I've used. I mess with those, the power goes down. Other than then when it went up, which is interesting. Could spend so long messing with this though, but I've got it working as I want it to. Yep, again, it's taxing the parts quite hard. How does it look? There we go. Our little 1 litre engine. Or is it 0.9 litres? I'm not too sure. The compression, a little above the very bottom, but really it's not a high compression engine. And yeah, it's a 0.9 engine. So less than half the cc's of a Toyota, and we've made a lot more power. So let's see it run. There's a lot of lag also, by the way, to make this power. There we go. It's also quite light, 102.2 kilos, but then you can probably see that by it being such a tiny engine. 6.6 miles per gallon. For the day, it is a powerful engine. I guess we have to respect that. And what am I doing? Not really looking at the numbers as they change. Because of a lag, the acceleration is pretty poor. We can get 8.0 seconds. The MR2 I think is about 7.7 and it's naturally aspirated, guys. Maybe we should have just gone with a V6. I don't know, but a V6 would have been heavier. 7.0. Right, I think if we can get 6.5 for acceleration, I'm happy. 6.4. Yes. So there is our vehicle and our transmission. It's pretty slow actually. 6.4 0 to 60, considering it's relatively light and powerful. Oh. Well, at least we're not letting any cooling go to waste. Take some off the brakes. They're both vented discs, so they shouldn't need stupid amounts of cooling. Leave it on about 50. 245 there. No, actually we want a bit more cooling. No, we don't. It's already above what it needs. We're cutting it quite close, but it'll work. And we need to name our car, of course. RR2. No, sorry. Turbo has to be in capitals. RR2 Turbo. Because it's rear engined, rear driven. Yay. We can't go with any other drivetrain actually in this vehicle, so yes, it would have to be. And we're looking at a car that's almost 50 kilos heavier than the MR2, but makes huge amounts of power. Oh dear, the weight balance though. We need to set it up for comfort. It's a road car still. And where are we for pricing? 31,000, that's pretty good. I think the one thing I would do though is, since it's a lot more powerful than I originally expected, go with semi-slicks. They'll be expensive, but they'll keep it under control and give us better grip. And since we can't go with wider tyres, how else do we get the grip? Again, market's 31,400, so that's not increased the price by as much as one might have feared. There we go, 5% markup for 33,000. Not ideal, but we have got a lot of power here, even if it's in an incredibly inefficient engine. We've actually made it slightly lighter as well, I think. Very slightly. Now, the downforce. We need to adjust that with our wing angle and stuff. .9 front. We don't need quite that much. I think we need about the same on the front as the rear. We don't really want to push the front down too much. Of the rear end could end up getting squirrely eventually. Yep, we've only got 3 kilograms on the rear. Something needs to change there. Too much rear downforce. And there we go. 2.5 kilograms more on the rear, which are the driven wheels. We need to adjust the suspension as well. I'm hoping with the white suspension it can just be incredibly firm on the rear and it can take everything. As a matter of fact, should I go with sport suspension? No, it's a GT. I'll actually call it GT Turbo. Probably a more relevant name due to the suspension setup. Then we could have an R Turbo or something, which would be a version with race suspension or sport suspension. Now, the test track. We have the Nürburgring. Yay. So, just check the suspension again. I really want to make sure that's right. Since the weight balance is not going to save anyone here. It's got something like 65% of the rear. I've lost it, but it says somewhere. There we go. 63.7 rear. About the same as a Porsche, really. Let's take it round then. And I'll be back soon. Okay, so he's done the lap in 539.6 seconds, which I need to work out what that is in minutes. So it's just under 9 minutes. Not a great time, no, but it is an old car with huge amounts of turbo lag, and all my computer's going mad. You see the S-Type diesel, which he had on Top Gear, did it in 9 minutes 59. So we're 9.6, just under a minute quicker than that. Good going so far. And I clicked on the S-Type, as opposed to actually looking up the leaderboard. Yeah, we're not quite Ford My Gale EcoBoost, whatever that is. And we're on the race cars. I can navigate a leaderboard, honestly. Just if only I could do it better than I am now. The Mini E-Racer Electric has done it in 9 minutes 52. Jaguar S-Type Diesel did it in 9 minutes 12 as well. I'm not sure if they modified it there or something, or if it's a different driver. Whatever electric race about is that did it in 842.72. Probably the closest is the Cherry Rich G5, which is a Chinese car, as a matter of fact. So yeah, we've built a sports car which is about as capable as a mid-size Chinese economy car. It is a turbo though, so we're competing with the turbos at least. But despite this vehicle being horrendously laggy and slow, it looks cool because of the wing and has more seats than the MR2. But yeah, there's no hiding it. Having a large turbo on a small car isn't going to help the lag. You'll see my driver was trying to keep it above 6,500 RPM. It seemed that way at least, to keep it within the turbo band, and it was still slow. I guess it's just the fact that it's a 1 litre engine and such like. It's not very torquey. Not real torque at least. Again, we need the power curve, but I've gone off it stupidly. You see only 218 torques. That's not a lot. That's not a lot to push it out of corners, especially when you have that instant traction of a rear engine layout. But it's probably not much worse than a 2 litre in the MR2. It has to be said, on this website at least, most of the times are newer vehicles. I mean, the fact that it can keep up with a Cherry, to be honest, I think is kind of impressive though. I know it's a Chinese car and things, but it's still a modern car with more modern technology. So, I think I did okay, but I could probably have done a lot better if I actually chose a body which could fit a decent sized engine in and get decent economy. But anyway, until next time, goodbye, until another day.